5 o'clock. I will now call to order the Middletown School Committee meeting at 5 o'clock on Wednesday, 27 August 2025. Will the clerk please conduct roll call and report on the quorum?
Chair Greg Hewitt.
Present.
Vice Chair Wendy Heaney.
Excused.
Clerk Bill Nash, present. Committee member Tammy Holden.
Here.
Committee member Teresa Spangler.
Excused.
Have a quorum, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. I will now ask the building committee to open their meeting.
I'd like to call to order the building committee meeting of Wednesday, August 27th, 2025. Don, please call the order.
Chair Ed Brady,
Here.
Vice Chair Bill Nash,
Present.
Superintendent Billy Niemeyer.
Here.
School Committee Member Tammy Holden.
Here.
Middletown Shared Facilities Director Ed Collins.
Here.
Town Council Vice President Tom Welch. Town Council Member Peter Connerton.
Here.
High School Principal Donna Sweet.
Here.
Assistant Superintendent Michelle Fonseca.
Here.
Town Administrator, not here. Represented by Town Finance Director Mark Tangway.
Here.
Community Member Mark Thayer.
Here.
Community Member Don Moran here. And we also have Greg Hewitt alternate and Jerry Haas alternate present. We have 11 of 13. We have a quorum.
Thank you.
Please all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Public forum. Individuals may address the school committee on only one relevant educational related topic included on the agenda that is not related to personnel or job performance, nor revealing personally identifiable information regarding students. Individuals may speak for no longer than 5 minutes and must submit a public participation form to the school committee clerk before the start of the meeting. Non-agenda items discussed in the public forum will not be voted upon at this meeting. Do we have any public participation forms?
I do not.
Thank you. I will now turn the meeting over to the building committee chair.
At this time, I would like to start with the architectural update. HMFH online.
Minutes from
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
Matt
jumping
LaRue
ahead
here. Good evening.
Thank you. I have to rescind my approach here. I'd like to consider and a vote on the meeting minutes of August 13th, 2025.
I move to approve the minutes from August 13, 2025.
All in favor?
Aye.
No discussion. Well, there is.
You want to discuss it?
You want to discuss?
I want to see the word copper spelled correct.
Can you do the microphone, please?
You have a typo.
Thank you. A little brevity goes a long way. Are you sure about that? It all depends on, never mind.
It's either copper or copper.
Yep.
One of the two.
Duly
All right.
noted, will be fixed.
Matt, back to you.
Okay. I can share my screen. Just have a couple things tonight. Reviewing our timeline and where we are. Coming back to you from the last meeting, or was it the last meeting or 2 meetings ago? Where we reviewed the design of the entrance signs, the one on Aquidneck and the one on Turner are identical. And responding to comments that we heard from that. On the left side is the design of the sign as we showed it the last time. On the right side, the revisions that reflected a desire to incorporate the image of the logo of the schools, which is the wave. And so we've curved the top of the sign and gave it some directionality towards the street end with the kind of wave-like form, and also introduced curves into the lower part of the sign, which was faceted before. We also talked about the projected letters, and I think the decision was to go with the metal applied pin-mounted letters, and those would be painted in Middletown blue color. the sign also incorporates the town seal as an inset element and has the name of the school below, and that could be changed to include the same design for the other school buildings. So this is a elevational view as you're looking at it from up and down the street as you approach. And this is just another three-dimensional view, so you can get a sense of the form of the sign. So with that, I will open it up to comments or questions.
Hi, it's Tammy. Is that the most curvy, like we can make the wave? I know this material is probably difficult to make a wave out of.
Concrete.
Yeah, is that the most wavy we can make the wave?
Couldn't form it.
And the second one comment was, I love the blue, and maybe can you put, and I don't know if it's possible also, where the wave is on the bottom, could a blue like streak go above it to show like the wave on the bottom? And my last comment, and maybe, I don't know, the circle with the windmill makes it look like an eye to me, like it's like a creature, a bird or something coming at you with an eyeball. I get that vibe. That's it.
It does. Damn it, Tammy, why'd you do that to me?
So I don't know if maybe the windmill can go down the bottom or something, I don't know.
Or the wave could go the opposite direction.
It just looks like a bird.
Or just square the top and keep the
Tammy,
wave
did I-
flat and not
did
get
they
too
do
wavy.
away with
I'm sorry, I can't hear all of the comments. I don't know if people are away from their microphones or.
Logo on it?
Yeah, use a microphone.
Yes, go ahead.
Do you have to push anything? No. Maybe just keep the top square and keep the wave at the bottom, because if you have too many kind of waves, is it getting busy? And I think the top wave, I think what folks are seeing is maybe it doesn't really look like the wave we were picturing in our mind.
Hmm.
We were thinking of a crested wave the opposite way.
Wave.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're correct.
I like the
Yep.
idea of the blue
On the top.
trim on the lower wave.
I did like
Mhm.
the movement on it
Yeah, I
because,
do too.
and then at the
Match.
top, I did like the little bit of the movement, but, because I think if you square it, it goes back to that looking like a gravestone
Industrial,
sort
yeah.
of thing.
a gravestone.
You
The-
know?
Could
I
the
don't know.
top mirror the bottom? Like just be the same?
Yes. That.
Sound convincing.
Uh,
Guys gotta eat that,
Sounded like my
right?
husband during shopping season.
Can we get for the sign?
I mean, I just think with the, right now, the way it looks, it does look like a bird.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So, like, that's the first thing I saw
Yes.
when I looked at it was a bird. So I don't know if just changing the flow of the wave to the opposite direction for like a crest, more like our logo, taking it over the opposite way might help a little on the top.
are you talking about having it rise in this direction?
Yes,
Like this way.
yes.
And leave the logo
And-
where it is.
Wave breaking.
A wave breaking, like, if you look at our logo,
Wave breaking town.
it would be in the same direction. I guess easier to draw.
Well, I mean, you're gonna see this from, you're seeing this from one direction coming, let's say, north on Aquidneck, but you would see it mirrored
Yeah, but it
when you're coming the other way.
But the
So,
point of the wave would be facing towards the N, not like the other way. So
sure, but why? I'm just curious, like, because you're gonna,
why? Because it looks like a duck. I guess that's my.
I don't know. I felt like it's more important to kind of gesture the sign towards the street. As you're coming in, it kind of signals this is how you enter. So sorry, if you could explain a little bit more about why flipping it would be better.
Because the logo is the other way, so it would match the logo.
When I say flip
But
it,
the
I don't
logo,
mean,
it
don't
won't
mean-
match when you look at it in the other direction.
yeah, but I don't mean just flipping it to the right side where the N is.
Not 180
No,
degrees.
I mean keeping the wave height above the M, but the point of the wave going towards the student in the photo. So the wave goes the other way,
So like
like
a
a
hook?
like a hook, like a crest. Just the way it sits right now with that logo that looks like a bird with an eye.
Hmm.
I would posit.
Oh, that's a
that we-
pretty
Yeah.
good design, man.
Yes.
Sorry, I got multiple people drawing on it, but
I know.
There.
Stop drawing.
yeah. I don't know. In my recommendation is to not let the sign become too graphic. It just, to me, doesn't stand the test of time. You know, this is going to be here for 50 years, and the logo kind of operates as a graphic, as it does in different uses. So it's just my recommendation, just keep it more abstract and kind of quieter.
I like Michelle's idea, and kind of what Justin drew in there. I get the gist of it. You know, as crude as that is, you need to, if you're not an architect by any stretch, Justin.
Now
But
it looks like a seahorse.
you do good at a lot of other things, but no, I kind of like the crest going that way. But look I mean, I think we need to decide this, folks. I think it's, yeah, we can beat this up all day long, but I think we need to decide. I do have a question, maybe just to maybe get us off topic for a second, or off the focus of a duck. And thank you again, Tammy, for pointing that out. Because really, I mean that because it does look like it like that. The Middletown, below it says Middletown Middle High School. Are we not? We have two signs, one at the Turner entrance, one at the Quidnick entrance. Are we saying Middletown Middle High School on both signs, or are we going to say Middletown High School and Middletown Middle School at each entrance? I mean, frankly, I think, we've identified the lower school as Middletown Middle School and the upper is Middletown High School. I don't know. Why are we saying, I guess that's just my question.
Well, I think that comes back to another point.
And that doesn't matter really for design purposes. I mean, we're still going to get the graphics and whatnot, that we can, I guess, change the words around, but that's just my question.
Well, it's always been a question that newer and fewer has been part of our process. And we're calling it's one school, even though it's two schools.
All right, I'm fine with that. Just.
And I think
what
that's
people
the reason why we have to do both, because certainly what we don't want to do is land up with a situation where, we built two schools.
He has a question.
It's just two schools, shared campus.
I hear you. I don't disagree with that.
Just a question going.
The other
back.
consideration is that people will be arriving from both sides.
Yeah.
And not necessarily going to that one school. So parents are dropping off all from the west side, whether you're in middle school or high school. The buses are dropping off on the east side for middle school and high school. There could be visitor spaces on either side that you're arriving at. My sense was that people would kind of learn about which is the best side to arrive at, depending on where you're going. But that the sign shouldn't exclude being able to get to both of the schools from either side.
That works for me. That explanation. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, that
Yes.
just,
I'm sorry.
no, sorry, just a question. What about the school's logo?
We decided not, I think we decided not
I think
to.
we decided to leave that one out.
Really?
Too much, yeah.
Well, because we were
can cook it.
incorporating the wave.
And just because we're there, forget the wave, kind of pick it up in squarish and put the town and the school logo equal, same height. Just an idea.
Everybody knows you're in Middletown, hopefully.
All right, forget it.
But we have to,
I think we
we-
talked about that last time, right?
Right, I just wonder where that went.
Yeah.
I think the key thing is, has been mentioned, we've got to make a decision here.
Yeah, I as much as frankly, I don't like either one of them, but I don't like the duck less or more. I guess I don't like the duck. That to me looks like a duck with an eye.
You gotta pick, if you have to pick between the two, I'd go with the first one with the blue lettering.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know.
I like the one with the blue lettering, but I would like to see the top match the bottom wave.
I could
It-
live
it
with
just-
that.
It just keeps
Oh, I
it's
see what
just
you're
a-
saying.
Rather than
Yeah.
trying to have a crested wave and this other wave,
Live with that.
right?
Wave at the top, wave at the, in the
The
middle.
top and the bottom just kind of,
And
they
then
don't have to match, but
Like,
maybe
kinda
like,
Get rid of that bird beak though.
yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like just bring this,
Wave it
follow this line.
above.
Here.
Okay.
Maybe offset.
Yeah, like.
Maybe
offset.
offset, oh, that's
Yeah,
even
so they're
better.
not parallel there.
Justin, you want to try to do that again?
I wish I could draw it.
So
We're gonna adjust in the crayon.
So-
could
But
the
I think one other
Yeah.
question I have,
Almost.
Matt, is if we look at the top view of the sign, it seems that there's a channel up there between each of the faces.
Yeah,
And I
Uh,
guess what I'm concerned about is that gonna become a,
That's receptacle?
yeah, not only that, like a challenge to try to ride through the crest, you know? It's just a thought.
It's high, what's the height of that?
I think it was about 5 feet,
5
you know,
feet.
roughly student height.
Get up
Yeah,
there
there you
in
go.
bicycle.
Yeah, that looks even higher maybe. I like Donna's idea with the wave replicated
Match
above,
the waves.
but offset the crest, if you will.
Or even if you just cut the beak off, it might be better.
Yeah,
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? If you just
Yeah,
squared,
square it.
if you squared the edge,
yeah.
it might
it-
might
get
still
that
be
beak
okay
off.
like that if you just squared that left side.
But we all like the blue, right?
yeah.
Yeah, we
left
like the
I
blue.
like the blue.
Okay.
Could you also just maybe just move the windmill after the word Middletown? And take the I right out of it?
We talked about that last time. It makes it busy, I think.
Okay.
I kind of like the wave offsetting. To me, it feels like that's a wave above and below.
Mm.
Yeah, it's like you're seeing waves in the foreground and waves in the background kind of collapse together.
Should have just sold the beach to Newport.
Yeah, I don't,
The beak or the eyeball have to go, one
Well,
way or the other.
well, I mean, can the logo, can the town logo go before the M?
I think it's too
Is
busy.
it too busy?
busy.
Because
We just
all I
talked
see is
about
the
that.
I now.
They said after, they said before.
Yeah, we could do that. The letters might need to get smaller, or otherwise we're making the sign longer.
I like that. I like that
Scale.
scale.
Looks like there's
Without, in the interest of, I don't like either one of them, but I do like Donna's idea. The wave offsetting, you know, crest, top and bottom, with maybe a blue line on the bottom wave. Maybe even do a blue wave on the top, but I think the duck's gotta go. The square's no good for me, the boxing look. But I could live with wavy on top, wavy on bottom, in the middle, an accent strip maybe. I can live with that. I mean, I like that, actually. I don't mean
Yeah.
I can live with it. I like that.
Could you move the town symbol to the right a little bit so it doesn't look like it's an eye?
No.
In the same design, you mean? Yeah, we could do the same thing. You could move the,
Oh, looks like
if you
a-
kept the design the way it is now. Oops, let me.
It's like a dysfunctional duck, then, duck that has eye problems.
Somewhat of an agreement.
Operating, here we go.
Top that would.
Be better.
Yeah.
Or leave the other way.
Wave on top and wave on the bottom. I mean,
Yeah, so maybe we just direct them, come back, hopefully one last time, with replicate the lower wave on top, keep everything the same. And let's see what that looks like.
And they were talking about maybe a blue outline.
And some blue accent on the top of the bottom, but we kind of need to.
I'm not following that. If you give me more direction on
You
that.
have a wave on the lower level, right? Right above the
Yeah.
Middletown High School. Just replicate that on the top.
No, I understand that. The outline part, though.
A blue accent strip, following the contour of the wave, the middle wave. Yeah, you go, right there.
An accent strip. What is that for?
I don't know, that was suggested.
Could be a pain.
Yeah,
It's just, it's more complexity into the sign, so I just want to make sure that it's serving a good purpose.
Wide metal.
Ditch it.
yeah, it's the applied metal too. That's
Ditch
it.
it.
Yeah.
Okay, done.
Done.
Wave,
That-
wave bottom.
All right, can we get a consensus of what we're looking at here without the wave? I'm not certain where you put the Middletown crest, looking at the one on the right.
Not even good.
See, because it's dipping down, see how it's dipping
Mhm.
there?
I'll move it in front and then put Middletown after it. We'll just make the letters a bit smaller.
Okay, all right, understood. Does anyone have any problems with that particular concept?
I think it'll be lovely.
I think she was sincere.
So
Yeah.
we have a consensus. Everyone's satisfied with the revised design on the right, smaller letters. Put this logo right next to words Middletown.
So I,
Mhm.
what does that do for, I know on our calls, we've talked about Tony, maybe come up and address and Justin, you can chime in on timing of getting RTAs, because it's part of the, one of the packages I think we need to look at.
Yeah, so one of the
Signage
final
package.
packages is signage. So given the fact that they'll come back with an updated design that you'll want to approve, what we'll do is we'll establish an allowance for the letters. And we'll carry that in the signage award, that it can be reconciled via an allowance subsequent to the award of the signage. Is that reasonable to everyone?
Allowance for the letters?
Yeah, because
In the
the
letters as
metal,
in sign.
Oh, I got you, yes.
These are applied
Yep.
metal letters that would be in the signage package.
Yep.
That we would need to pay for.
Yep.
And perhaps the bottom ones are too. I'm not sure. But we'll establish an allowance. We'll use it to reconcile with the signage vendor, whatever the applied graphics are to the precast. And we can write the RTA with the allowance.
Move it
in
that way.
Yeah.
To be clear, though, those bottom letters are, or
I think they're cast.
they're cast in place, yeah. Yep, no, I like that. I think it
Okay.
works for us and works, Justin, you're good with that path.
We talked about that
Yep.
before, yep.
Yep. Somebody want to motion that? Right, you want a motion for that?
I think we need a
No?
motion.
Who's chairing the meeting right now, Bill?
Can we go forward?
So the consensus is do the allowance, but the question comes down to, a lot of us get leery about allowances like this, but we have to keep the project moving along. So if people wants to see it in the final stages, let's get a recommendation then to proceed with it with the allowance. And Matt, you will come back to us with these design modifications in our next building committee meeting, correct?
Correct.
Is that everyone's understanding?
Yes.
So moved. Move on.
Next, 2-week look ahead, just a few items. Ongoing construction administration. Participation by the design team for both the middle high school and the elementary school projects. We're moving along with project boards that will be mounted on the concession stand. We're targeting the end of this week. But we may need a little bit more time as people are available to work on it in my office. We are also moving along with the CHIPS submission. I can report to you that I talked to Joe De Silva today to just get a little more clarification. And what he is directing us to do is just move along with this work on CHIPS as we were going to do it. In other words, to submit the design submission for review. And in the meantime, RIDE is going to see if they can get any more cooperation from CHIPS and USGBC, the new combined organization, to help them get some flexibility. But in lieu of anything new coming up, we will simply collect all of the construction phase documentation, verify that we're meeting the points that we're intended to meet. And if we're not able to get an extension of the deadline, then we will simply not submit for the construction review. RIDE just needs the affidavit from the architect saying that we're meeting all the points and that the construction documentation is compliant at that point. So that's where we are.
Well, I think one of the things that comes to mind here is reimbursement. There's a lot of money involved with reimbursement, so we need to make certain that whatever the process is, that it does not hamper our reimbursement.
It will not. I had a follow-up conversation with Dr. De Silva, and he assured that even right now, that they are not, they're not making schools even go for the final, CHIPS review. They are satisfied with an affidavit from the design team that the CHIPS points were met, and that satisfies RIDE, School Building Authority.
All right. Just as long as we have that in writing is the most important thing.
We have that memorandum from July of 2025.
Okay, thank you.
Then the last item, we talked a little bit about this last time, is the work to be done for the cultural, historical, and memorial visuals and artifacts in the project. We will create a schedule for when that work, the different phases of that work will need to be done, so that a group from the building committee can help us define what the topics are for those.
Okay.
So we'll get you some schedule for that sometime mid-September.
All right. Any questions more, Matt? If not, let's move on to.
Sorry, Mr. Chair, before we go further, I owe Mr. Welch an apology. I told him the meeting was at 5:30. Here I am busting his chops from the beginning. And he's showed up at right on time for a 5:30 meeting, although it started at 5. So my apologies to Mr. Welch. And I'd indulge
Needs to go in the minutes.
I'd indulge the group to just give a quick summary to Mr. Welch on the signage.
No, that's okay.
You good with that?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
You're off the hook, Matt.
Thanks.
Move on to Kyers, please.
Okay. First item on our agenda is the elementary school GMP update. Let Colin get. All right, next page, please. Next slide. So there has been a little bit of an update. Originally when this presentation was submitted last week, Bentley was expected to have a draft of their GMP by tomorrow. However, per some conversations I had with them this week, they are fine tuning some numbers and they're expecting it actually the middle of next week. So that GMP amendment will go to the town attorney for review. Once it is been reviewed and signed off by the attorney, as far as the contract language, it'll come to the school building committee for final review and approval to go to the town council. Next slide, please. Well, any questions regarding Bentley's GMP?
Should have it at the next meeting, please.
That is the intention, yes.
They go to the school committee as well before it goes to town.
Correct. Same process as the RTAs. Yep.
Everything.
Next item is the courtyard water infiltration update. So Ed's team ran water down the courtyard area drain for about 3 hours on the 14th. There was no backup of any kind observed, and that was done because the town camera was not operational at the time. So right now we do not have any concerns with
Have to send the bill for the water.
with drainage from that area drain.
All right.
And actually, along those lines, I did receive pricing from Bentley for the work per the RFI response that has been reviewed by both Colliers and HMFH, and it's going back to Bentley for revisions. All right. Next item is the elementary school roof test update. So there were, pull-out test reports done in 3 locations on the roof. The testing did reveal that a mechanically fastened 40-year warranty roof replacement is possible in all 3 areas. And Bentley is working with the roofing subcontractor and the manufacturer, who is oh boy, Garland. Thank you, Garland. Who is really the only manufacturer that can supply a 40-year roof. They do essentially a built-up asphaltic layered roof that is hard to beat as far as durability. So we should have that pricing with the GMP amendment.
That will be included in as the add alternates.
As the odd alternates, correct.
Okay.
Next slide, please. And as far as the elementary school construction update, construction for this summer has been completed. All of the HVAC repairs, as well as some additional repairs that were, found in the tunnels, were all completed. Including the water line, the domestic cold water line. Just a few photos here. You've got, a new, new piping there right at the bottom of the stairs, basically a new manifold, cleaned out tunnels, new valves, new gas piping where the gas piping was compromised, which actually went really, really smooth. And we started today talking about logistics for next summer. Any questions as it relates to the elementary school?
Yes, questions on the repairs. Have full testing been done on the repairs to ensure that all leaks have been resolved?
Yes,
Valves are operating?
correct. Yes.
Okay.
They did
Okay.
find a few leaks while they were testing, which
Mhm.
they did go back and correct.
Okay.
Waiting for all of the reporting, and I will also have a commissioning report from the Colliers commissioning team.
All right, thank you.
Ed, it's a
Yes.
question, Justin, there's comment more. Feels like next summer will be a very busy construction period with all of our projects, but particularly at the high school, at the Valley School. It feels like a lot of work's planned
Yes.
based on the schedule compared to this year. So I'm just, as smooth as it went, just that much more diligence will be needed to be had for the work that happened.
Oh, yeah,
this winter.
absolutely. We're going to be talking about it basically from now
Right.
until we start. That way, all logistics, all scheduling is, all procurement is done. That way we have a rock solid plan.
I guess, thank you. I guess
So could you use the mic, please? I'm sorry.
sorry about that. Yeah, no, I think, like I said, with regards to more construction, we'll see visible, much of this work this summer was repair work and upgrades and whatnot. Next year, we'll see a lot of visible changes in some of the interior of the building. If we do an elevator, if we ultimately choose that, will that be next year as well? So.
It'll get started next
get
year. It
started,
will not be finished in
finished.
one summer.
So there you go. So like I said, a lot of more potential for disruption next year than this year, but just like you said, they working pretty good on it so far, and we'll work towards it during the off season, if you will. So thanks for the work that's been done there.
So I think one thing we need to keep in mind from the school department side, that we will be meeting with Bentley ongoing to really start beginning of the year, scheduling this process. And I think we have to keep in mind what your usage factor is going to be in the high school during this time frame. I think we have to look at that very, very closely, because we certainly don't want delays in this process of the next 2 summers at the high school.
Yeah, the bulk of the work that'll happen next year will be, should we accept the alternates for the roof and the elevator, will be those 2 items. The elevator also happens to be in the same location as the nurses' suite, which is the area that we'll be, we'll be working on next
Right.
summer. the bulk of the work will be in that corridor immediately after the administration area.
Mm-hmm.
As well as we are looking to get a jump start on painting some of the hallways and putting up sprinkler piping.
Right. So as I said, it's, as Bill has mentioned, it's gonna be a lot more,
There will be a
a
lot
lot
more
more
activity in the
coordination
high school
and
next year.
activity next summer. So as we plan for activities in the high school, we need to keep that in mind next summer.
Yeah, we moved some programs out this year, and even though there wasn't a lot with Bentley, we did a full lighting replacement too.
Right,
which
that was,
occupied most of the hallways.
mm-hmm,
Yeah, we're ready to go.
Oh, yeah, right, the lighting,
Yeah,
forgot about
I mean,
that.
looking ahead to the summer of 2027, I would recommend having no programs at all, having that school completely vacant because of the amount of work with taking down walls for Learning Commons, the complete demolition of the administration wing. It is not going to be an accessible school
Yeah.
for anybody.
Start working with Don about maybe relocating the summer school or what we can do. Yeah,
Yeah,
It's
fortunately,
already
we have 2 years
organized
to
for
plan.
next year.
there you go. Done.
We've already started having conversations about no summer school, even next year.
Oh, that would
Right.
be great.
Yeah, we had one program in this year. We've already relocated them.
everybody
So-
got a pass.
Other than a few handful of admin. Well, how many kids?
Yeah, but having some admin and custodial staff in the school next summer wouldn't be an issue. We'd be able to, we're not gonna be interrupting the administration wing much. I mean, it'll get loud if we're doing the elevator with
Mm.
jackhammering and whatnot, but yeah, I'd rather not have students
I
around the
mean, we can probably
construction next
relocate
year.
as well if needed, right?
It'd be loud,
Fine.
loud, so,
Yeah,
yeah, bring your headphones.
I'll be right here.
Any other questions that relates to the elementary school?
Next item.
All right, next item is the one recommendation to award for the middle high school, which is the theater and stage equipment, RTA 11C. Colliers and Gilbane are recommending Barmazon Light of New England Incorporated in the amount of $643,864, which is actually $340,733 above the 60%
Rigging. That's what it
CD
is.
budget.
That's what it is. Stage.
There are no alternates applicable and no allowances included in this cost, nor are there any WBE, MBE participation. I would like to note that we only got a single bidder, which was Barbizon. And the definitive reason for that is they are really the only vendor capable of providing a complete package for the theatrical equipment that we have on this project. Gilbane actually went out to 8 other vendors, none of which decided to provide a proposal on the project because of their inability to provide a complete package.
Mm-hmm.
So while we are slightly, over the 60% budget,
Slightly.
Double. Nice try. Nice use
I
of
mean,
the words.
$300,000, dollars in the grand scheme of things. But anyway, but that is the major reason is there's no competition because Barbizon is the only vendor that can provide what we need.
And I think one other thing, it's always the problem with the 60%. What detail is there in this area? It's something that gets more detail put into it in the last 40% of the design
Agreed.
is another factor. But I have run into previous projects with the same issue and landed up with Barbizon. And believe me, I have to say, you guys did work them over pretty good, even just in the beginning. Yep.
Started a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Mark, if you're interested, I can run down the names of the other vendors that were invited.
I'm fine, thank you. Note that.
I move that the building committee make a recommendation to award the theater and stage equipment bid to Barbizon Light of New England Incorporated in the amount of $643,864, which is $340,733 above the 60% CD budgeted amount of $303,131. Alternates 1 through 10 are not applicable for this bid.
Second.
Any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. All right, a quick update on the middle high school construction. As you can see from these photos, which are, almost a week old now. There is a lot of excavation that has been done, a lot of footing formwork complete, and a lot of footings poured. And the walls, or the large retaining wall that separates the two sections of the school is being formed up in the top right-hand photo, and some of that wall has already been poured and stripped. So they're moving right along and continuing to excavate and prepare additional footings. In addition, we already talked about it earlier in the meeting, but, the water line off of Aquidneck Ave is continuing. That gate was closed for a time, however, they're continuing to work on that water line, but that gate is open and accessible. And, moving over the next few weeks, we're going to continue a lot more concrete, a lot more excavation. We do have some soil that's going to Hugendorn. We do have right now approximately 5,500 yards of soil that is going to be offloaded to the Grotto Avenue landfill in
How
Pawtucket.
much again?
About 5,500 yards at this point, and that could potentially grow.
Mm-hmm.
So we're working with the excavation subcontractor and the Grotto to get the best rate possible for disposal of the soil.
Just want to be very clear that only clean soil is going to Hugendorn.
Absolutely, only soil that has tested within the limits of the residential exposure criteria have gone to Hugendorn,
Perfect.
and will only that soil will continue to go to Hugendorn. I apologize for that. Another school district calling me.
How did we get from
40.
40 yards to 5,500?
The additional sampling that was done on the eastern side, we found additional, we had additional tests done that show that we had some soil that didn't meet the limits. We had the test, originally we had the 3 borings, which gave us that 40 yards. With the additional testing required every 500 cubic yards, that's where we found the additional soil that was just slightly over the residential limits. We actually did try to do some soil commingling, which did give us, we did salvage some of that soil, but some of the soil still came back just slightly over the limits. So it's
not
going away.
It's not cost effective to try to keep mixing it and moving it, mixing and moving it. So if it's bad, get rid of it. And I still believe we'll be well under our allowance for that.
Yeah, if we continue to test and move soil around, where we are spending a lot of money. We've spent over $100,000 just in testing. Another $100,000 in soil removal over to Hugendorn. And right now we're at the tipping point, no pun intended, that we need to move the soil off the site immediately, and not do it any more additional commingling and testing, because essentially we're going to start hampering progress of the foundation.
Ultimately, it's cheaper to move the bad stuff out and don't deal with the.
And I think the other thing we have to look at is, your depths of your excavation is the most we're going to be digging. And we're clearly going into virgin material. So, it's there naturally, and we've tried everything we could, but reality is the test results say it does not meet standards.
It happens all over Rhode Island.
Yes.
All right, any other questions on the construction update?
No question, just a comment. Colin has been posting these pictures to a drive that we've set up on the building committee website.
Okay.
Amy and I have done a rough construction photo page this afternoon. So you'll start seeing some of these on the building committee website.
Is any of this also will be any drone footage coming forth?
I was going to get to that in the
Okay.
in my
sorry.
2-week look ahead, but since you brought it up, there is a drone flight scheduled for September 3rd that I've cleared with Billy and Jerry.
Okay.
So please be patient, because once the drone flies over, there is a process that Gilbane goes through to ensure that that the footage can be, sent to the public.
Right.
So there will be about a week to a week and a half turnaround, but we'll get it to everybody as soon as it's available.
Justin and folks, the other thing that came up yesterday at opening day for the schools, a couple people approached me looking to do some type of a time lapse camera, and not looking to have it done on site, but from within the existing Gaudet school. So I don't know how we can move that, but I'll just kind of leave it out there for now. But one of the teachers apparently has a room that faces the construction site, and they're simply thinking of setting up a camera and just doing a time lapse of the construction. So I don't know if there's anything we need to do to affect that, but
If they're gonna be filming what's on site, you're gonna have to run it. through
Yeah,
them.
Right,
let's
exactly.
have an offline conversation with
Okay,
Gilbane,
that's
because I
fine.
might have to go through there.
that's what I wanted to
routine.
make sure of before we go anywhere. Perfect.
Sure.
Can we back up to just give a kind of a kind of summary on the trending, where we're trending with our budget? Budget update. Budget?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
No,
well,
I
it's
see
not
that.
an
Okay, my
overall
bad.
budget, but,
Yeah, it's just an overview, yeah.
Yeah, we're trending right now, as of today. And, I want to caution that, we
Of
are
course.
still working through the buyout. But as it stands today, we're about $7.3 million into the owner allowance.
Thank you.
Based on where we are trending today versus the 60% construction estimate.
And we have how much more we're pushing, how close are we to 100% of buyout, and we only have a couple more RTAs left,
Only a
right?
couple more RTAs to go, yeah.
So we're all of 90%, 95% at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But we have two larger contracts
big
with
ones,
the
yep.
demolition of Gaudet and the landscaping.
Escaping, right?
Yep.
Landscaping, I mean, I know you were on some of the scope reviews. It is trending higher than the 60%, and
Right.
we're working through that right now with Gilbane
Right.
before it gets presented.
And the issue with demolition on the RTAs is just trying to work in the cell tower demo.
Part of the scope.
Yep.
Add to the scope, yeah.
The cell tower though might be taken down by the owner. We have a lawyer working on that too. Just hasn't really moved quickly.
I was under the assumption the owner was one that was willing to be part of, take care of this ATA.
That's not a dead issue on our end. The lawyer's still trying to get on them to remove it.
On their own.
Yes.
Or subsidize some of it. Or all of
So
it.
it's moving slow. And that's
But it's part of the scope, so we can bid it out and get it done.
We'll have the cost captured.
I think, yeah. Yeah, it's not really moving quickly, but it's kind of still in play.
Exactly. And the question is, we've always been assuming that the party was responsible to remove the cell tower. And, for the most part, we don't want to have it come out of our $190 million budget.
It's like anything, right? Payments have stopped. There's no financial interest or leverage to use anymore. So now it's a difficult situation to get them all out there to commit to that, but we have a lawyer working through that now.
Just, when you talk about trending, just this is a clarifying question. So when you say, like the last one says with 7.36 million, on owner's allowance, that's in addition to, in your budget update, 7.9 million owner's contingency.
Correct. Those are separate values.
All right.
So the variance that we're talking of, the 7.36, is the variances between what was budgeted into what we're actually paying. And
For construction only, correct.
for construction, and it also, does that include, that does or does not include construction contingency?
That includes construction contingency,
Okay,
but it does not include our owner's contingency.
all right. I just think as we go through, we're gonna have to make certain we have a clear understanding of what is there and what's not there.
That's why I brought it up.
Yeah, and what he just said is important, construction only, right? No
Right.
FF&E, no other things that are in there. We need to make sure that everyone understands that. The last thing we wanted somebody looking at that, and then these other numbers start coming in, they're like, what happened?
Right.
So he,
Yeah, I just wanted to make it,
exactly what he just said,
I
construction.
just wanted to
only.
make it
Yep.
clear, we
Yeah.
also have a contingency that we aren't touching right now.
Yep.
This is a construction only
And-
line item.
And we
Okay.
have, security surveillance under the line item,
Yep.
sorry. We have security surveillance under the line item too. So, yeah,
Yeah, we still need to close on that at some point too, right?
we know where we need to be. We just process again, yeah.
I guess another question on that line, well, not so much there, but we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we got about 2 months that alternates that we'll be discussing. Where, are you gonna touch on GMP and budget and where I know we talked early September, but that's gonna lead into because there's a fair amount of alternate discussion that has to take place clearly.
Right.
The alternate discussion is going to be a very difficult one.
And it'll
Yes.
follow the, the
Okay.
presentation of the GMP.
GMP.
That's where we'll
Remember,
know how
there's,
much money's
there's
left.
not enough in the bank
Where are we targeting for that? GMP, mid-September?
mid-September because it has to go through the lawyers and for contract purposes, and who's going to actually audit the GMP? Is the lawyer's function going to be involved in that, or? I'm just concerned that we have everything in the GMP that we know of. I know I have the look across this thing of Tony looking at me like, what do you want? The world? I said, yeah, I do. I think it's just important to know that because we're going to be making some decisions on recommendations on ad alternates that we're not going to be able to get everything we want.
No,
So,
there are a few items that the town is actually mandated they have to do.
yes,
Like the
we have
fields-
that as well.
Yeah, so there are some things that
We have no choice. We have
Yeah,
to do them.
they have to be done.
So I think that's very important that the toughest assignment we're going to have as a building committee coming up is to evaluate the ad alternates.
And then, sorry, one last thing. It'd also be nice to actually, if possible, shift some money back into the ES complex for educational purposes.
So I
Right.
think I will refrain what I just said. You're right. It's the total project. We have to look at ad alternates, not just the middle school, high school. We also have to look at the elementary
Yeah.
Valley complex, and we have to look at Forest Avenue. That's a lot of wishful thinking, but we still have to look at everything. So, and it's going to be a tough decision. We have to make some we have no choice about, and others we do.
Don't be so dim and grim. We're actually in a good position right
Oh,
now.
yeah,
I hesitate
that's
to-
a very good point. I thank you, Don.
at all.
At least we're in this position to have to make these decisions.
Right.
It's better, at least we have some decisions we can make.
And we can thank our team of consultants
Yeah.
and our construction manager to be where we're at, our
Exactly.
construction managers to be where we're at.
Thank you.
Any,
All right.
and we
Any other
beat
questions
that
as
to
it
death.
relates to costs, GMP, budget, construction budget, should say?
Yeah.
Good. All right. All right, trees. Let's talk about trees. So the project team, and that's the landscape architect Colliers, the architect team, Gilbane met with the few members of the tree commission on the 20th of this month. And we walked and reviewed the 10 existing trees around Gaudet that are scheduled to be relocated. We do have a home for all 10 of those trees. Gilbane is in their landscaping base bid is going to include the sugar maple that is in the northwest corner of Gaudet. Because it is impacting, it is in the way of progress. So they're going to include that one. And with the tree commission, it was determined that that tree is going to replace the the ash tree that's over on Turner Road that has succumbed to, yeah, yes, I forget the exact term that they use. It was an ash boring beetle that killed the tree. So that's going to be included in the base bid, so that can get done right away. In addition, they are going to give us an alternate for the relocation of the other 9 trees, which are going to go up on the hill to the southern side of Gaudet, which won't be impacted with the regrading of the fields. We're also going to look at potentially doing those 9 trees as part of outside of Gilbane using the MPA, similar to what we're doing with the security, to just take it out of Gilbane's hands. We'll handle it directly. So we're looking into that, if it's going to be, cost effective and logistically, more beneficial to the project.
It's good.
One question, when you say you're going to move them to the south side of Gaudet, how far south?
There's a line of trees there now. We're
Yes.
basically going to be in between that line of trees. We're going to maintain that line.
Infill
I'm sorry?
infill
Yes.
between the trees, kind of infill.
Yeah.
It's good.
They also mentioned possibly putting some on the Thayer property, but I
Yeah.
nixed that right away.
Nice.
Actually, my real concern was that wasn't gonna go anywhere near the utility line, which.
We will, yes, that was taken into consideration with the arborists from the tree commission.
Because Davey just went through and hacked up everything,
Yes.
and it's ridiculous, just plant trees underneath power lines.
Yep, that was taken into consideration when we discussed the relocation of
One
the
would
trees.
hope. Thank
Yes.
you.
And how
Yeah.
close to this tree line to the emergency generator that's going to be going when Gaudet goes? Is that impacting it at all, this tree relocation?
No, there are trees already in front and to either side of that.
All right, so it's not, they're there. I was just concerned that we have to hold till the generator's out of the way.
Not at all.
Okay.
Plenty of room.
Yes.
I have a question as we think about trees. It just kind of popped into my head. I believe previously we've identified at least one tree within Gaudet that's a memorial tree.
One of the courtyards.
We just got to keep that on our radar. That's going to be relocated, I think. Or can it be relocated? I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know how you get that equipment inside the building.
Well, I mean, it's not going to move anywhere until the thing is demoed. But I don't know if that's something we want to at least capture if we're going to try to save that memorial tree. I heard that come up at a previous meeting, so.
Yeah, that's on the list. Jerry put together a list of items that are currently at Gaudet or named after something. So I thought that was on the school committee's purview to decide what to do.
It is,
Okay,
but I'm just,
yeah, whether, and the question is it worth moving or replanting? I think superintendent,
We
yeah.
suggested maybe buying something new to replace
okay,
it.
all right.
Like maybe contacting the family or whoever,
Okay.
just to let them know.
Is there like a plaque there though?
Is there underneath the tree?
Yeah, there's a plaque underneath the tree.
Certainly folks that have been there forever know the history of it, so.
Yeah,
at the end of
we'll
the day-
take that up at the memorial, but I just wanted, as we were talking about trees relocating, that just popped in my head.
All right.
Yep, sure.
On these trees, I haven't seen this part of it before yet, but from a practical purpose, is there any reason why those trees can't be cut down and new ones put in? And I mean, what's the useful life of a tree? And if there's it's a memorial to somebody, you plant a new tree and it'll be there for a lot longer than these old trees. And we're looking at money. I don't know, I can just imagine what that's gonna cost. We're talking about. So I just throw that out.
And in that same vein, I thought the same thing, but I'm sure there are people that are looking at that from Gilbane. But you also got the time of year, right? This is an awful time to try to move a tree.
Mm-hmm.
And so if it's impeding progress, we're trying to go around it. Yeah, it would make sense to replace them. And I know that the teacher at Gaudet, I forget who it was, that was always
Taylor,
planting the
yeah,
trees. Yeah,
Quite a few.
yeah, absolutely. But
I
sometimes you
believe you
just gotta be
planted all of the
practical.
trees that were.
And hopefully the
think
tree
so.
commission will be, but.
Well, if it comes back as an alternate,
Yeah.
or if we choose to take it out of the Gilbane's budget, that's the conversation we'll need to have. If we decide to move it out like the security and then the town decides how to do it, you're right, we will have a different conversation, right?
I mean, I certainly don't want to disparage anybody that the tree's a memorial to, but the tree's gonna die at some point, and if you put a new one in, it's gonna be there for a lot longer, and it's gonna be a lot cheaper, and that money could be used to do some of the other things in the schools that we're trying to
Or
do.
respectfully, not impede progress, which is, we can't afford that either, so it's a fine line.
I've actually moved
Move on from trees.
moved trees with just a big bucket, scooped the tree up, drove down the road, plunked it in. We've also done it with professionally, and all but one tree was saved from picking it up and just putting it in place. And all the trees we had professionally moved all died. So it's a real, no, I'm just trying to say, it's a risk involved.
But waiting
And
for that to
one
happen.
thing that's for sure will work is planting new trees in honor of whoever it is.
You're not moving that one.
It's on your property now, right, isn't it? They took it, your property.
To the fair house,
One that
over
big.
firewood.
You got a big front end loader there at the site.
Next slide.
Mm,
Yeah.
Oh, no, I moved it.
All right.
Tree with it. I'm just saying, it goes through the bother to move them. They die on you.
So, yeah, I mean, if they're just staying on trees for one more.
Oh my
second.
gosh.
If there is any consideration to replacing those trees, I would just respectfully ask that the school committee request a meeting with the tree commission.
Who's the person on the tree commission? Who's the person on the tree commission?
Alan Kirby.
Make it right.
Yes.
Well, it's on the next, it'll
You
be.
just
posted.
want Alan
That's-
and Karen
that's-
there.
What the hell?
There was a lot of coordination with the landscape design with the tree commission, which was part of our planning board approval. So,
We'll get on it.
And it wasn't easy.
We'll get on
all right,
it.
moving on.
Like the sign.
The NEVI grant. So the NEVI grant for the electric vehicle charging stations was submitted on August 15th. And we are expecting responses by October 1st. And keep in mind, this was a competitive grant. So we feel that we put in a very competitive grant application, and we're hopeful to get the funds. And again, we're expecting them by October 1st. And we will advise as soon as we have feedback. Right, last slide is the budget update, and we're still working within the original 190 million, plus the additional $484,308 appropriation from the general fund, which funded alternates 7 and 8. We've spent just over $17.2 million to date. We've contracted $140.6 million in change, which will change following this town council meeting, where once we're able to process those RTAs, so that will increase. And we're still working with our total anticipated cost of just under $178.5 million, excluding contingencies. Any questions on the budget update? All right, moving on to our final slide of the day. It's our 2-week look ahead. Within the next 2 weeks, we're expecting to be reviewing the draft of the elementary school complex, GMP. The middle high school subcontractor bidding is ongoing. We're expecting to have that wrapped up in the next couple weeks. And then as far as construction, we already talked about it, but in the next 2 weeks, they're going to continue with the bulk excavation and soil testing, concrete formwork and footings, water service line. And we actually were talking on the OAC call today that we're already, talking about getting the mason, ready to be mobilized. The mason will first thing they'll be working on is the elevator shaft construction. So, you know, that's on the horizon. And what's not on this, we already talked about it, the drone flyover on September 3rd. And as soon as the video is processed and reviewed by Gilbane's team, we'll get that out to everybody. Any other questions on the look ahead?
Are we at anchor bolt level yet?
Oh, all the anchor bolts are on site.
Oh, yeah.
Site.
that's right, yeah.
No, are they
I-
placed?
Let's say.
Yeah, I don't think we placed any isolated footings with anchor bolts yet.
There's nice things on that.
We did. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
May have placed a few. No. They're just
Two,
there,
okay.
yeah, I think
Two,
it's
starting
slow.
that process?
Would you like to come survey them?
No, I'd like to see the report.
Oh, there will be one. Because the steel guy won't come without it.
Yeah.
If you give the steel guy, I'd like to have a peek at. See how JL does.
Mm.
Anything else?
And the flow of testing reports, is that satisfactory to everyone involved as far as getting the reports from Prime?
Yep. You know, they required a little hand holding to start, but they're getting the reports, you know, on time. You know, we're very fortunate. All of our 7-day breaks were at 28-day
Yield.
strength.
Yep.
You know, if anyone's wondering, when I was talking about breaks, we're talking about concrete breaks, which is concrete testing. So, you know, the goal is to have at least 75% of your strength at 7 days, and we're hitting 100% strength at 7 days for most of our you know, concrete testing. So,
Who's the supplier?
Cullion.
That's 4,000 PSI.
4,000 PSI, correct.
And I'm sure the pumping of that big wall went smoothly as as you expected. They were done rather quickly. I got out there and pump truck was already leaving from my vantage point by the school. And I recommend that anybody who wants to go out and take a look, you know, you can do it by not going onto the site and just go to the side by the cafeteria and you can see everything that's going on. Have the kids noticed that yet? Okay. Oh, yeah, I can imagine. We're gonna have a lot of sidewalk
get worse.
superintendents, for sure.
I went up into the bleachers and looked over. It's not a bad view.
You know, the shop students out there, that's what you want.
And just one note that, you know, you know, we will be getting a full instruction schedule update from, you know, Gilbane by the end of the month. All right, thank you.
Thanks, Justin. And Colin.
Okay. Next on our agenda is a consideration and vote to appoint members of the Cultural, Historical, and Memorial Subcommittee. I would like to make a recommendation that we hold off on doing this. Have a presentation made by HMFH as to how it's handled elsewhere. And then basically know what this subcommittee's charge is going to be. I think it's going to be a very difficult. I'm happy that people have stepped forward already to do this. And I just want to make certain that we have full understanding of what they're going to do and how the reporting and the structure. And I think one other thing is we have to keep in mind, we have to respect the artistic endeavors of our architect, especially when it comes to the murals. The murals are a very important part of this process. And of course, then the difficult process following on with the memorial and historical aspects as well. So this subcommittee is going to have a very difficult task, and I really would like them to have a charge that they can work from, and everybody's on board from us, school committee, on upwards to ensure that what they're doing is according to what everybody wants. It's a recommendation on my part to do this. We will not interfere with the schedule, seeing how they're not going to be available to us till October. I just think that this subcommittee is going to have a very difficult task, and I think we got to make certain that we have everything in line to do it. And that's my recommendation at this point. So I will then open the consideration and vote to appoint members to the Cultural Historical Memorial Subcommittee. Do we want any further discussion? Don?
So who should draft the charge? Are we looking for a recommendation from HMFH based?
That too, and the members, some of the people already have volunteered for this process to give us a charge, so we
Okay.
know we've got everything lined up. for this
Look,
event.
I frankly think we're making a bigger deal out of this than it needs to. If there are people here willing now to start serving, if there's 2 of us or 6 of us, then we can discuss it further. But frankly, you know, this is not I don't think it's a real heavy lift, Ed. It's important indeed, but there are bigger things that are on the table of HMFH and Collier's, and frankly, Billy, who's going to be involved as well. I just think we need to get moving on it. If, you know, I've been clear that I have an interest in serving on it. If there's a couple of others, I frankly think we should just move on it, get it done, and start it, you know, so that come October when they're ready to present, we're ready to go. We have a plan. I mean, we've identified some of the memorials already that some need to go to the council, to the school committee, some need to go to the council, and then ultimately to the council, or not. But I just think it's doesn't feel like a real heavy lift for me. But that's just my 2 cents, and I was curious if there's anybody interested in serving.
Any further discussion, Don?
I mean, if the discussion now is just get an interest of who's interested in serving, there's probably no harm in doing that, right? Who would be like to be a part of it? But I agree we should come up with a charge, right, to really clear what does the team need to
I
do,
would let
that's
the
all.
subcommittee do that with, you know, if, I don't think we want to burden this committee with doing that, or the architect, or, I mean, it's really, it's historical, it's cultural, it's memorial. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory in my eyes.
Yeah, I just think from a charge, it's the subcommittee is going to go look at this and come up with recommendations. They'll come back to the building committee, make I think that's all we're talking about, Bill, is just to clarify
Yeah.
the role of that
Yeah, that
subcommittee.
makes sense. I mean, that is probably the first thing can happen at the first meeting of that subcommittee, and, you know, they can come up with it and bring it back to this committee, and then we can all beat it up or discuss it. And
And the only thing I would add with HMFH input, because they're the ones
course.
that are looking for this assistance.
of course,
So maybe they can provide some, you know, things that have happened in the past with, because when we went to Saugus, right? It was great, right? So how did they do it? What can we learn from that? How, you know, what's that process? That's all I think we're talking about, Bill.
Any other discussion?
Ed, come if you-
Yes.
I would just ask that if this is an appointment, that you table it. Because that would have to go to the school committee and to the council. And I don't think there's clarity on, is it appointment required or is it just volunteers? And I think before you make any decisions on an appointment, that we should table it.
Well, can I just say one other comment? You mentioned volunteers. These people have volunteered, some people have. So I don't see any reason why we can't start the process. And then once everything, the charge and everything is in place, then we just make the thing formalized and move on. I'm just concerned that this is a very important, before we've had groups work on things such as the architect selections and everything else, it was pretty much cut and dry. This is going to involve the whole community. There's going to be a lot of questions raised why this was done and that wasn't done. And I'm just want to make certain for our committee members who have worked so hard on this, that we're not hanging out there to dry once everything starts about it. So yes, I think we can go ahead and have the people work on this, but as far as making the formal commitment, I think we should just hold it till the next meeting. And try to get some input from other people. And I'm not certain who. I've heard a couple of names. It's something that the architects would like to have because it makes it easier for them to try to focus on it. But I think we need to just make certain that we're doing it right.
Can we just get an idea of who the makeup might be? Like if people that are interested, like I'm sure the school administration would like to have some involvement and stuff. That's all. Maybe we just get an idea today. I know last time, Bill, you said you're interested. I know Tammy,
I'd be
I
happy to.
think, there's a few people that expressed an interest. Michelle looks like she would like to. Um, i- i- Both superintendent and, okay, so that's about 5. About the principals or no, just let the,
Maybe we do principals on when it's your school.
That works for me. I'd like to
Again,
get students
I
involved.
mean, really, folks, I think it's a subcommittee. It's, this is the body that makes any of the decisions that they're charged with. They're going to make recommendations. So everyone's going to have a chance to input. It's just a matter of the capacity of the people. I think dragging principals into a subcommittee, for the sake of just having them on the sheet of being on the subcommittee, certainly if it's in their school, they're going to be consulted. So again, simply it could be a work group, a task group, subcommittee, whatever you want to call it. But I think, the formality of it is, the work just needs to get started. And the people that have an interest in doing it, I think, have identified themselves. If there are others, then so be it. And, it can be an open discussion. I mean, it won't be unless it becomes a quorum of our committee, then we'd have to,
That's all the things we need to be
know,
looking at, Bill.
or we could post it simply and see who shows, just for the sake of doing it. But I don't want to make any more work on Colliers, or the town, frankly. They got bigger things to worry about. These are important, yes. But, again, I don't think we need the formality of, you want to call it whatever you want to call it, put people on it, that's fine as well. But, I don't see the need to make it as rigid, and just the work needs to get done though. So we need to start. So that's.
So what's the pleasure of the committee right now on this matter?
I'd like you had mentioned a little bit, HMFH to go over, kind of give an overview.
Can they,
No.
can they do a presentation to us so we kind of have an
Quick
idea?
overview of what they have done, what they're looking for, how many just an overview of the task.
Well, maybe I'm concerned about that. You might decide not to volunteer after you hear that.
No,
I think
but
they've
just a
I
little
think
bit
they've done
what they're
that.
looking for.
They've kind of done that. They've
Yeah, just
identified.
go over a tiny bit more like what exactly they're looking for, so we kind of have a little bit of guidance.
Mhm.
Does it has a little bit of guidance?
I think what we could present to you is how the process has gone well on projects in the past for us and what that looks like for you. And we'll bring some visuals of some of the graphics that were done on other projects. You've seen some of them, but it would be helpful just to kind of maybe get a range of categories of graphics and a schedule for how that will happen. It's partially going to be dependent upon when our graphic designer is able to free up from other projects and put the time in, because it's a multiple month long process. Really the better part of a year in some ways. So I think the schedule will really help you understand how that lays out.
That'd be great.
So is that the consensus of the committee at this point?
Motion?
Table it to.
Table it?
Table it?
no, make a motion.
Okay.
Do I have a motion to table this?
I move to pass over this item till next meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Centers? Okay. All right, as far as the next item, we've already had an update from that. Mr. Collins there has flowed the water and it kept going, so that's a good sign. And as far as our 2-week look ahead, we're just anxious to get our RTAs completed and keep the project moving on the basis that it is, and get our GMP, and then the hard part starts for us as a committee to get these ad alternates for the total project decided. Any other comments, questions?
I did have a occasion to speak with Mr. McLeish regarding some plaquage at both schools. His family is very integrated into the construction thereof. He would be interested in if that signage or those plaques would be available to his family. The original,
Oh, he desires to have them.
he desires to have them. He also mentioned that he was unaware of any time capsules in either school,
Current school.
the current schools. The only one he was aware of was at the town hall.
I believe that has to go through the school committee,
Yep.
transfer property and through the council, I believe.
And I think that's one of the other problems that this group we have to face is the amount of materials that's in these schools, in particular, Gaudet. Because as we start the process of getting rid of the school, there's nothing worse than coming across something and everybody's going, what's that? And the easiest thing to do is to use a disposal.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
important.
yeah, I agree. And there's a lot of plaques. I just noticed one, there's one over on the wall over there.
Yep.
And so that there, and when I was at, the ribbon cutting at Newport the other day, they have a bunch of those kind of scattered around the building. So it's like, wow, okay, so I took some photos and those are the things that kind of registered for me.
Yep.
But I just lost my thought there. Leash, Gaudet,
Mm-hmm.
lost it.
So early build.
People wanting them?
Right.
Just a question along that vein.
It'll come back.
What are you gonna do with the signs donated, for the new Valley School, but were for the old high school that were donated by the classes? Are you keeping those or keeping them there or?
That's their whole thing that they have to work.
I think generally there's a process for stuff like that, even for like old computers that we have the surplus as a school
Oh, right,
committee, and
no,
then it
yep.
goes to you guys at the town.
Yep.
That might be an opportunity for fundraising, that might be,
That's a great idea. Yep.
somebody may want that, it might, there's all kinds of stuff like that.
So you can see the complexity of what
There's gonna be a lot. I mean, that goes for desks, and I mean, that goes for every
Yeah,
bit of
somebody-
50 years of stuff. in
That's gotta
Gaudet.
that's gotta get all vetted out.
That's got to vet it out too, but just as Bill said, all these plaques everywhere, it's.
There's a lot at
major
the high
task.
school,
Yeah.
So I
all the
had,
sports plaques.
before I lose
all-
my thought, it has nothing, really doesn't tie in, it does kind of tie into the memorials, but and I'm gonna look at my friend Mr. Welch again, but I thought it was a
Yeah.
great idea. As we demo Gaudet, we stood in that cafeteria. That cafeteria is pretty spectacular timbers that is just gonna come in there with, it's just gonna end up getting demoed. There are some components of our building, the Gaudet building, not just the memorial plaques and the other things, but that structure, I know it's a probably more costly to do so. Maybe somebody's interested in it, but that structure itself, superstructure, it's pretty cool.
Like Lou Lam's.
Normally when someone comes in and prices demo, they look at what they can be salvaged.
Indeed.
It's all part of it.
I agree with that,
That's
yeah.
gonna-
It's part of the profit, yeah.
So some of that, we're better off just kind of leaving and hopefully getting a better number out of the demo. 'Cause
Most of it, yes.
But
Most of it, yes, I agree. Most of it's gonna get demoed in the dumpster out the door, but big components like that, to me, it's, if you go and you look at it next time, geez, maybe it's something we ought to consider, but it's kind of late now to do so, right? Because we're at that stage. But that's just my point, so there's a lot to it, a lot of moving parts with plaques, memorials, and for this committee to sit here and do it, individually, individual items is just a waste of time. Respectfully, I think a smaller group can come and report back to you all, but I'm willing to listen to Matt, and I think it's a good idea, and we'll hopefully get moving forward on it. Like you said, in October is going to be really the kind of start of it all.
Yes, Bob.
Just last thing to that end is potentially for that new committee, maybe you look at recycling some of those plaques and put them in the history thing of the school. Just something you can do, and that way it lives on just in a new place. I'm done.
All good ideas, absolutely.
And in
Yeah.
some cases, I know in previous experience, the local historical society was very interested in some of the things and possibly one of our one-room schoolhouses that are still available might be a place to consider.
Yeah.
I haven't been in the one, they're packed,
Yeah.
man.
I think we have a new historic place in the library.
Well, maybe the Middletown communities can have a place where we.
Motion adjourned.
Or we can just have a big meltdown somewhere.
Okay.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
No,
No,
more business.
More
Joint-
business.
joint School committee, building committee. No, we gotta do that.
We're in a joint meeting, so I turn the meeting over to the chair of the school committee.
Okay, thank you. I will entertain a motion to consider and vote to award the contracts, stage curtain and rigging for the new middle school.
Second.
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Motion has been made to consider and vote to award the contract, stage curtain and rigging for the new middle school. It has been seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. I will entertain a motion to consider and vote on the superintendent's employment contract.
Second.
Motion is made to consider and vote on the superintendent's employment contract. It was seconded. Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. I will entertain a motion to table the consideration and vote on Council 94 AFS CME AFL CIO custodial maintenance contract.
So moved.
Second.
Motion has been made to entertain a motion to table the consideration and vote on the Council 94 AFSN CME AFL CIO custodial maintenance contract, and it was seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. I will entertain a motion to consider and vote on the NERI NEA Middletown Paraprofessional Association contract.
So moved.
Second.
Motion has been made to consider and vote on the NERI NEA Middletown Paraprofessional Association contract. It was seconded. Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. I will now entertain a motion to adjourn the school committee meeting.
Motion to adjourn the school committee meeting at 6:26.
Second.
Motion
Just
has
a-
been,
I'm sorry.
motion has been made to adjourn the school committee meeting at 6, we say 26?
26?
And it was seconded. Any further discussion?
Yeah, just a point of order. We can adjourn, but I still think there's a couple of items on our school building committee that we haven't
But the
finished.
school committee building is, I'm going to turn over to
Right.
the chair
I
to finish
understand.
that business.
Yeah, right, but am I right on that, Ed? That we haven't, we still got a couple of things. We finished 5-1, but we didn't do 5-2 or 5-3.
Well, we did 5-2 in the update about the water, because
Oh, okay, you're right.
he did that and I gave a quick 2-week.
Oh, you're right. Okay, I apologize. My bad. My apologies.
Any further discussion? All in favor of adjourning the school committee?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. The school committee is adjourned. Thank you. Turn it over to the building committee.
Motion adjourned.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Definitely a meeting in 2 weeks, right?
Yes,
We're definitely meeting in 2 weeks.
fortunately.
Thank you. Have a good night.